guess palliya. Guest e-vehicles at the Queen Place in Coimbatore. Hello all you beautiful people. Yes, I have a very special guest today, the queen of the e-industry. She's an outstanding woman who has revolutionized the entire industry of electrical vehicle, who stands really strong and tall amongst the male dominated e-vehicle industry. Someone I really admire, who's down to earth, and I have also had the privilege of working with her. Please welcome Hemalatha Annamalai ma'am on our special show today. Thank you so much ma'am for being a part of our show.
Thank you, Soundarya.
So moving on to the show ma'am, how did you start Ampere? When was that day that you had decided, illa inniki we should do, I should leave everything else and this should be my focus? Adu eppadi start panninga ma'am?
This came in 2007 actually, a chance conversation. Actually, my husband was in Japan. So he just called me and he said that something very interesting is happening.
Okay.
That was the time that I, as an entrepreneur, have driven about 4 ventures. I was wanting to do something very different. Something where we wanted to do impactful work.
Okay.
So the opportunity came, and then we understood that electric vehicles was the way to go.
Okay.
So the moment that impetus came in me, I just thought for about 3 months, did some extensive reading and research.
Okay.
And then in 2008, Ampere was born.
Oh, okay. So 10 years almost.
Coming to 10 years.
Yeah, it's going to be 10 years. You were working with Wipro, yeah, ma'am, before
Yes.
this. So how was the journey working? Working somewhere is different and starting as an entrepreneur is different. How was that journey, ma'am? And it's not like you started when you were a 18-year-old.
Yeah.
You were already, towards the other side of life, and then you had many other commitments in personal life as well. How was that journey, ma'am?
I think entrepreneurship is all about risk taking.
Okay.
Okay, and not many people have that appetite.
Okay.
So risk taking for the sake of taking risk or being an entrepreneur to make money does not work.
Okay.
It's very plain and simple. So I always believe personally, which is what I've been coached by mentors as well. If you're working on an intent and the intent is going to solve a societal problem, that's where an entrepreneur will be able to flourish and will be able to scale. Okay. So I personally believe that any business, whatever we do, has to be viable.
Okay.
It has to sustain, and then it can scale.
Okay.
So the moment I think the business was viable when we came back here along with my family and all that, the good thing is that I didn't ask anybody whether to come to take on this venture. I just packed my bags and I just came off. And that was the best decision, because I think sometimes what happens, we just want to do something and we want to talk to umpteen number of people and then get influenced, and then we'll never want to make a decision. And I think since I was naturally inclined to take risk, I just said that it is going to be something good and then let's do it.
Okay.
And we just packed up our bags and then we came with 2 small kids here back to Coimbatore. I'm not from this place, but I studied here, so I thought I could do something where we want to be close to our customers.
Okay.
And that was the start.
Okay. So a little bit about your family.
Uh,
Where did you start?
we come from a very, I would say, middle class family. Okay, my father is a professor, mother is a teacher. Big family, 6 siblings.
Okay.
5 daughters and 1 son. I'm the 5th daughter.
Okay.
And never thought I would be an entrepreneur actually. I thought I would be a corporate animal working for companies and then making something for myself. But then when I got married into a very nice human being, my husband, who was a born entrepreneur, I just naturally got sucked into it.
Okay.
And then I just felt that, entrepreneur is so much nice, because one thing that I like about entrepreneurship is it was all about freedom. Right?
Okay.
So that freedom is something that I really enjoy, because freedom means more responsibility, more managing your time, and more being disciplinary to be able to get the task on time. Because nobody is there to tell you anything, and you're not monitored, you're not controlled.
You
don't
have the
to
power
give
of making your own
decisions. Yeah. So I think that was the thing. So I think I just came into this, and now almost coming to 8 years. We have made a significant progress, about 25,000-30,000 vehicles on road, and
Wow.
then in the last about 5-6 states we are emerging to be a very strong player. And I mean, the journey is on right now fully, and right now we are embarking into the next phase, which is going to be an exponential scale.
Wow. And my little birdie told me some really exciting things that has happened in Delhi.
Sure.
In few years that we will talk about. I'm very curious to know, ma'am. You said you had 2 little children. You packed your bags and came. You were in Bangalore or one of those cities, I'm sure. So how did they react to you not being the regular working mother and you going to be taking the big risk in life?
I think my kids are, fortunately, I have very understanding kids, because I think that understandingness or the compassion and to be able to listen to and all that comes primarily with the way how we communicate with them. I think if you don't take too much of an approach of preaching them always and make them as your buddies and friends, I think they are very they are at ease. That is number one. And then number two is that I communicated to them that I'm going to be on a much, much bigger project, and not that I was not traveling before.
I agree. When you are an entrepreneur, you have to go give 24/7, 365 days.
That's right. So I communicated with them. I got their support. I got their promise that Mama will be traveling a lot. So you guys have to be able to manage yourself. And fortunately, I'm also blessed with good domestic helpers. So that also is a thing that we have to take into consideration.
Right.
Because once you have a very good setup at home, then I personally believe that sky is not the limit.
True.
I also believe that women has got that undeterred potential that women are born multi-skillers and multitaskers.
Absolutely, ma'am. Yeah.
So I feel that when you have such inherent ability to be able to manage multiple things and to be able to make a career, I think you can just go at it to be able to get done. I think sometimes the self-doubt and then what the society all will think and all that will bother you, but I think you should just take it for whatever it's worth, and then you have to just move on with your life.
Sure. நீங்கள் இப்போ சொன்னீங்க women are born multitaskers. இப்போ வந்து வாட்ஸ்அப்பில் ஜோக்ஸ்லாம் வருது, எஸ்பெஷலி டியூரிங் தி டைம்ஸ் ஆஃப் மதர்ஸ் டே எல்லாம் இந்த மாதிரி women வந்து ரொம்ப சூப்பர் ஒன்று ஆக்காதீங்க. It has to be equal to men also. What do you think about the balance men and women have to bring this?
I don't think there's something going. I don't even celebrate Women's Day and all that. Honestly, we are made men and women for a purpose, for a reason. So I don't think you should just blow out of proportion. You should just accept it as a matter of it. And then I think the masculine energy and the feminine gender, the feminine pleasantness is what makes the society very holistic. Isn't
So
it?
I'm going to take back the line that I said, male-dominated industry, because it's like a balance according to her that brings it. So என்னைக்காவது ஒரு நாள் have you felt okay? ஒருவேளை a woman can't do this, or have you felt in any?
Absolutely not. I think I've been very lucky, because wherever I went in India, to whichever government office I knocked on and whichever bureaucrat, technocrat, I met, I don't think I ever felt that we are being discriminated because we are women, or it would have been nice if I had sent my male staff for this or that. I don't think so. I think it's all because how we approach the problem, how we get at it to be able to communicate our problem, and how we get a solution. And I personally believe that sometimes very good articulation and communication of the problem what you have is very, very paramount. And once you are able to communicate to any kind of audience, I think you can make it actually.
I totally agree. இப்போ நாங்கள் வந்து வெளியில் போகும்போது இல்லை, why are you doing this, why are you doing that அப்படி கேட்டுருப்பாங்க. So I think I'm going to take that advice from you, and always think that both men and women have those kind of energies, and we have to balance it out. So I'm not going to, from now onwards, I'm going to tell my audience also that we have to be balanced, and there is no men and women. It's just a talent that is there on the ground. Moving on to our business, ma'am. So there are big names behind Ampere, and obviously your 200% energy and support of yours. So who are the people and the kind of support that they bring?
I think I was very blessed to get the acquaintance of Mr. Ratan Tata. I was equally more blessed to get the friendship of Ms. Gopalakrishnan. And these are the people that can reply to my email, and then when I want to talk to them, they will return my call. I think that's a very, very big fortune, right? And I think more than they giving the time, it is for you as an entrepreneur how you make the most of their time, right? I think that is where many people sometimes fumble, because we try to get too emotional about it.
Right.
If the emotions are balanced and the emotions are controlled, you're able to balancely articulate those questions, because I always believe that it's 80-20. 80-20, if you have a well articulated question, 20% the solution is like that.
True.
Right? True. So I think that has been one thing. But I also wanted to acknowledge the support of my staff, my team, and also the mentors that I have. The initial investors, Foreign Synergies from Bangalore, were one of the first ones who spotted me out, and understood my passion, and also kind of gave me the first kind of a break to be able to make an investment, right? Because any business, when it's invested, it's kind of gone through the complete due diligence, and people say that, oh yeah, it's gone through the process, right? So it becomes like a checkbox ticked.
I know for a fact that you're very meticulous and very
so I think that was one thing. Other than that, I think my mentors, my chairman Sudeep Nandi, and my mentor in Singapore, Prof. Hang Chang Chie,
Okay.
I call him CC Hang, who all been with me and who have shaped up my ideas in many, many formats. Their support is going to be paramount, but then even if their support is there are only two things that's very fundamental in business. One is any business, how good are you at sales and how well you manage your cash flows. So if these two are managed very well, I think anyone can make it actually.
I'm sure. I think this is going to be a big advice to all the entrepreneurs out there, and they're going to take from this. And also, my buddy told me recently had a big event where President of India launched something that is definitely revolutionizing this particular industry.
Yeah. It's a very interesting conversation. I think you're the first one who have come on an interview with me to ask about this, so thank you so much for this. And I just wanted to explain that electric vehicles have got 4 key parts: battery, motor, controller and charger. So we were the first company to actually indigenously make our chargers, because most of the chargers are imported. The imported chargers does not understand the erratic power conditions or the road conditions, the
Of
grid conditions.
Indian roads.
So
Yeah,
what
they are very
happens is
unique.
that, correct. In that sense, what happens is that the customer buys a product and suddenly they have a charger that actually pumps off within 3 to 6 months of purchase. It leaves a very bad taste in the whole ecosystem.
True.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that is something that we want to consciously overcome, and we are very thankful that Technology Development Board Delhi actually gave us a small soft loan, which actually became the seed money for this project.
Oh, okay.
So it was a governmental initiative, project funded by government, and I was so happy that it was also launched by Honorable President Pranab Mukherjee and Mr. Chowdhury, actually the Minister of State for Science. So it was very nice because that charger was initially done. It was a 6-year effort, and we actually all these vehicle chargers is built by Ampere ourselves, and today we've also got customers who are actually using our chargers and have given a phenomenal feedback on our charger.
Okay.
So now a lot of other OEs, the big manufacturers, are also looking at buying from us rather than importing.
Wow.
Because they de-risk the business against foreign exchange.
So we are truly doing living the Make in India
Absolutely.
dream.
So I think one of the things, more than Make in India, I think I'm on 2 tasks right now.
Okay.
One is actually I wanted to empower engineers from tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 towns.
Wow.
Because
Tier
these are
4
the
also.
Yes, these are the engineers who actually have idea. They've not been exposed to like the people in the cities, but they've got some ideas, and if their platform is given for us to shape up the idea, I think they will do very good.
I think that brings me a question. Sorry to interrupt. எப்போவுமே சொல்லுவாங்க that most of the Indian students, be it any field, they are not job ready when they come out of colleges and engineering background. So, do you think it's going to be?
One is job readiness. We actually give them projects.
Okay.
Both in final year and their masters, they come and do projects, and with the projects they are able to execute, they hire them.
Okay.
So we kind of do this in a very systematic manner, and that has helped us also to be able to attract talent who are going to look at Ampere long term.
Okay.
Number one, and then I think previously, to your previous question, I said I had 2 goals. One is to create jobs and to empower engineers. So creating jobs is what we are right now doing ongoingly.
Okay.
I also wanted to empower women in manufacturing. So today 30% of our workforce are women. So we wanted to gradually build about 50% to women workforce in manufacturing and make it, tell them that it's manufacturing is not something like only man can do it. I think equally women can do it, because in our vehicle, fortunately, there's not heavy things to lift except the battery. So I think women can do it.
I think it's the mindset that the mechanical men da, software na women da. And I think you were one of the few women when you were doing the engineering as a background.
We were the first batch actually computer science, and then at the point of time, not bad at all. There were many computer science, particularly we were completely dominated by women actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think
it's not as the other way around. Men were less.
Yeah, men were less.
So I think it's the mindset that comes in the society that mechanical women than Mari, and especially when it comes to vehicle, etc. The men are the intelligent bunch, but I think you are turning the entire leaf around. So also all this business discussion aside, I'm sure many more details that people are read in the papers. Some things that people don't know about you. Is there something that we don't know about you, or say your passion, your hobby that you're really keen about?
I love reading. I love read newspapers. I don't know. Wherever it's, I'll just grab a newspaper and I'll just read it. Sometimes I'll read from this side, I read from this side. I don't know. I think it's a habit that my father inculcated. Okay. And then he used to read newspapers. So we saw him reading newspaper, and we also started to read newspapers. Okay. So that is one thing that I cannot resist. Number one. And then my husband keeps telling me, don't buy hard copy, do soft copy. But I'm so used to this print form.
I think that smell of that hard
it's
Coffee
very
papers.
comforting actually, and it's a
And a
childhood
cup
habit.
of chai or a coffee, I'm
I
sure.
don't take coffee, tea. Okay,
Okay.
I'm kind of teetotaler in many ways in that sense.
Okay.
So hobbies and interests, I think I'm more of a. I look at very inclusive way of doing things.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that has been my differentiator as well, and that inclusiveness largely comes about because, like I tell in my other interviews also, that I just I have integrated yoga into my life. Okay, so that is a big support. So I
Okay.
think that support is something you can't explain by words.
Yes.
It's a feeling of complete awareness into what you're doing. So I think that depth of awareness, if you're kind of at it consciously, sky is actually not the limit.
True. I think a lot of people are getting inspired by the yoga as a passion, not as a hobby or something that they want to do for a health reason. But I think it's coming inbuilt. Can you give a little bit of credit to our Prime Minister's efforts of making
of course.
yoga?
I mean, the International Yoga Day, I mean, I could see every country celebrating in a very big manner.
Right.
And this is something that is a paramparya of India. India, was at it, 15,000 years ago, Adiyogi came and, preached this, and then gave the teaching to the 7 gurus, 7 early yogis. And then the depth of knowledge is so deep. No amount of effort can remove that. Right?
True.
So I think
So
this
true.
is amazing, and I think the current generation, I think, are at best to be able to completely leverage. I think there are a lot of spiritually realized masters, I think, who are right now able to offer it in the way that we can take it. So I think this is something that
So true.
it's a blessing for India, and I think let's put India as a kind of given a landmark position for India in terms of internalizing yoga in every other country. Which is
So
good.
how do you plan each day of yours, ma'am? So is it like you already are pre-planned and you be like, this is what I'm going to do, or you just take it as it comes?
I typically, like I said, when I give some 20 minutes to my body, I can work easily for about 16 to 18 hours without any problem.
Oh,
Okay, and I think that energy is something that I'm trying to channelize in a very nice manner. And my day starts as early as about 5 o'clock. So 5 to about 6, 7, I just completely devote for myself, in terms of praying, offering prayers to my guru, and then just devoting time for my body completely, because body is so paramount. Body, you have to transcend body to reach the mind state, right? So once you reach the body and the mind state, that's where the energy and emotion can come and take off.
so true.
So if your body, mind, energy, emotion is aligned, I think you can do many things effortlessly and at ease. Okay, this is where I've realized. So I start as early as 5 o'clock, and then I just go through the whole day. I could not go and make kitchen stuff and all that, because now I always say I have about almost 120 children to take care. So I think I have to quickly come to factory and then try to do the day-to-day affairs. I also do one thing, which is kind of introspecting what happened that day during the night.
Okay.
So sometimes when you introspect, what happens is that you're able to ponder about certain issues, saying that, oh, I thought I could have managed this very well. Why did we have to just show my anger, or why did I have to? Oh, this solution could have been better. So when you introspect continuously, the introspection and awareness, you are able to solve problems much easily. So I think this is something that I spend. I think I'm blessed with my children are all now studying. They're all in their college. So I think now they have their own world. So that gives me more time also to do my own things.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you questions that I don't think anybody has ever asked you.
Yeah.
Your favorite actor or movie star?
Oh, favorite actor or movie star? For me, I have not personified anybody so much that I like them. It's just that for me, if I like some movie, I'll just watch 2 or 3
So
times.
which is your favorite movie? And the last movie?
Last movie I saw was Bahubali.
Bahubali, the craze
Bahubali
is-
2 was, I think, an outstanding visual fantasy, I would say. I think I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, the characterization, and I think it also got the cultural values of India and also leadership, feminine leadership, right? So I think it was a very, very nice movie that I enjoyed. And I also go into all these other movies like Ratatouille. I've watched many times.
Oh, that's my son's favorite too.
So it is kind of, at some time you like certain things and then you move on. I don't think I have a very...
Any particular song that always comes to your mind when you have that day?
I go on to very old songs, Tamil songs
Shivaji
and all that.
or MGR Patel.
MGR, yeah, more than Shivaji MGR, I think the melodies of Chitra, are very nice. Some of the songs are very good. I'm not able to relate to right now.
Okay.
But I think those are the songs that I'll put in my car when I go and then be at peace.
That's your relaxation.
Yes.
Okay. So if not your Ampere vehicles or e-cars, which brand would you prefer?
I don't mind to drive actually a Tesla. Drive a Tesla car, I think, because I've heard a lot of things about the Tesla car. Recently I was in the US, I visited Tesla factory as well. And I think they have just completely revolutionized the way people think about cars, right? I was told that with the switch of a button, they're able to remotely debug the car and completely make platform approach to be able to, solve the different subsystems of a car. I think that's very interesting. This is what we have done in our scooter in a very, very limited, frugal manner.
Okay.
And I think there are a lot of scope to implement what has been done in a Tesla in a two-wheeler and three-wheeler as well. So we are taking one step at a time.
So I think probably we know more infrastructure in place than more than our technology right now.
Correct, yeah.
Infrastructure is most important, especially our roads and
Charging stations and all that.
charging stations, etc.
Yeah.
So, if given a chance, which destination would you like to take the bikes for a nice ride?
I would want to go to some seaside, perhaps maybe Goa. Take the bikes and then go there and
Enjoy
then
by the beach side.
Enjoy the beach side. That would be very nice. Yeah.
I have only these questions, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
The scorching heat plus nice breezy air. I think you have given us a lot of time.
Thank you so
Thank you so much. I know every minute of yours is precious in taking decisions and managing your so many children who are here. Thank you so much for all your time and all the best and keep revolutionizing this industry.
Sure. Thank you so much, Soundari, for making time. I think you have been calling me quite regularly and keeping in touch, which is very good because I always give time for any women who wants to go the extra mile. Okay, so it's very nice. Keep at it, and then I always want to tell that women can do many things in life.
Yes.
So make at it and make something that's credible where you can really be inspiration for other people as well. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good luck.